your host for the evening. Your host tonight was a finalist on NBC's Last Comic Standing. He was a writer for Comedy Central's Crank Yankers, and he has appeared on Comedy Central's Premium Blend. So please, let's have a big round of applause for Dan Adu.
Yeah! Yeah! Wow!
Thank you very much, guys. Wow, the cameras are out. I feel so special.
Yes!
Thank you, high school guys. How's it going?
I'm fine! Yeah! Yeah!
Ready to hear some stories? Welcome to the Moth. Tonight's theme is New York stories. You guys ready for some New York stories?
From the Bronx!
Yeah? Not so much? Okay, fine. I am. I want to hear some New York stories, man. So these are going to be the best stories from the people who did Moth Shop Community Workshop. So you guys got the best of the best here, the best of the New York stories. It's going to be wonderful. I was thinking about New York stories yesterday because I was in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Anyone from Brooklyn here?
Boo!
Where are you from, man?
Bronx! BX!
Well, I'm right to say that. If he was like, I'm from the West Village, I'd be like, oh.
Ain't nobody here from the Bronx.
Give Brooklyn some props.
What's a West Village?
Miss Gibbs, where you come from?
All right, cool. You see that? Can't we all get along?
No! No!
He's got a little bit of both. So I was in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and I was walking on Bedford Ave, and there was a guy, this big jacked guy, wearing a hula skirt, no shirt, and he had a Nintendo, like an old school Nintendo, that was like in a necklace somehow, and he was banging it and screaming the theme song from Mario Brothers. He was like da 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 da. And I walk by, and someone else walks by and goes, only in New York. And I go, yes, but not only in New York would you see a guy like that. Only in New York could a guy be doing that, and no one's stopping to look.
I don't get it.
No one cared, right? Now that's the great thing about New York, is that you really got to be able to impress to get our attention, right? Because we're used to crazy people, we're used to this, we're used to that. You really have to impress us, and to make it here, you got to be the best of the best. That's why, extra round of applause for the guys that are here. They are the best of the best. And there's some wonderful stories tonight. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the Moth. What we're doing here tonight is storytelling. We're going to be telling stories, all right? It's not stand-up. It's not, it's not laughs per minute. It's not about that. These are all real stories from people's real lives, right? None of this was made up. And we are basically, each story is 10 minutes long, okay? And once you guys get to the 10-minute mark, you're going to hear Sarah here. This is Sarah, everyone. Give it up, Sarah.
Yeah!
Put this back together. Sarah's going to make this noise with her little flute.
Wow.
The flute is going to puberty. That's going to be the noise she's going to make at 10 minutes. That means wrap up your story, If it's a story about the best pizza you ever ate, you should be at the part where you take the bite, right then. And then after that, if you keep going and it's going a little too long, Sarah's going to get angry. She's going to get angry and she's going to make a more menacing sound on the flute. Very menacing. It's going to sound like this. Or it's going to sound like a dying chihuahua, apparently. All right, cool. So those are the rules basically for tonight. Now, before the show started, I asked all of the storytellers a question. I asked them what they love most about New York. So instead of bringing it up and telling you how great they are and what their bios are, which you can read in the pamphlets that were given out, I'm going to introduce them by telling you what it was that they love most about New York. All right, you guys getting ready to get the show started? You ready?
Yeah!
Our first storyteller, when I asked him what his favorite thing was about New York, he said he liked the people, he liked the attitude, and he liked that it was always new and always fresh. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jonathon Rosado!
Yeah! Bronx BX! Where Brooklyn at?
It was the beginning of my freshman year at Wadleigh High School, and I decided to walk with my friends to Central Park North. And it was nothing out of the usual, we were just going there to chill, and we decided to get out around there around 4-ish. I remember getting out there and walking along the western banks of Martin Luther King projects. And me, I didn't think that nothing was gonna happen until my friend Tahina, she decides to tie her shoe and bend over. But she didn't realize that there were 16 people right behind her looking at her. So we kept on walking, and I look back. I see the 16 people walking right behind us. So I'm looking at my friend Cyrus, and he's looking at me, and for a minute we got like this Puerto Rican telepathy going on for a really good minute. So we knew it was going to go down. He takes off his watch, I put on my rings, and the Spanish kid, he comes up to me, and he starts complimenting me on my chain, and he starts tugging it. And I remember giving him this hard look like, if you tug my chain one more time, I'm going to beat the living shit out of you, I swear.
Ooh.
So this kid takes the first swing right at me, and I duck, and I connect right with his face, and I hit him right in the eye. And Cyrus, he ducks when somebody takes a swing at him. Janae and Tahina, they run out to the corner around the block. And this is when all hell broke loose. And I'm telling you, it's like Armageddon, the Matrix, and it was just all these action movies composed into one. And I felt like a superhero. But for the first time in my life, I felt like I was having like a fun fight.
It was fun.
So it was all fun and good until we realized it was 16 on 2. So we started running. We went to 117th Street on this supermarket, and we keep on running, and I'm dodging all these old people, but I actually knock old man Jiggsy to the side, asking into the mailbox, but I kept on running. And I'm running to the supermarket through the automatic doors, and I see the cashier lady, and I see the conveyor belt. So I jump over the conveyor belt, and I slide through it. And I remember that slide because it was a painful slide, but I knew that regardless of how bad my chest felt for that moment, I was pretty much safe. I was safe until the 16 kids ran in, and they started a commotion, and everybody inside the supermarket was like, what the hell is going on? What's happening? Are we gonna get robbed? What's really going on? And these 5 security guards, no, not even security guards, bodyguards, because they were like 6 foot tall, and all of them were above 300 pounds. And they're just hugging these crowded kids, and they're just pushing them and tugging them right through the automatic doors. And now they're looking for the people who actually came inside, for these 16 kids to come inside and look for those people. So they spot me and Cyrus. Now, they're looking at us, and they grab us by the back of our t-shirt collars. And at that moment, I didn't feel like a superhero no more. I really didn't. I felt like a fish being thrown into a pool of sharks. Because I knew that if I was out there, I was done. But as soon as I got outside of there, they were gone. So it took Tahina and Janae a few minutes for them to calm us down, but they finally did. They walked Cyrus to 125th Street, he gets on his train, and I walked Janae to her house. And about a year later, I walked with a different group of friends to see a friend of mine who was actually sick at the time. And she lived at the same project. So I'm going inside there, I find out that she's all well and she's all good. But I remember going down the steps of those projects, and I remember those metal doors in those projects, and it kind of gave me a flashback about those automatic doors on the supermarket. And I remember opening those doors and noticing how heavy it was, like whatever they try to keep inside those projects, they were keeping inside those projects. But I got outside, and I noticed the same 16 kids that jumped me before on the corner. And me, I'm the type of person who likes to start trouble, you know? But I just wanted to start a commotion because I didn't like what went down last time. I didn't like what happened. But then I realized something. It didn't take courage to go up to them and start a commotion, because in reality, it only took one person to pull that gun. Take that trigger, pull it, and I would have been gone. So I look at them, and they look at me. And they're realizing that I was the kid that they had jumped a year before. So I'm walking back. And I'm realizing that it takes more courage and it takes more bravery to walk away in certain times. So I keep on walking back. And I turn to my train station. I look back. They're gone. So I walk to my train. Thank you.